we got to take the tribalism, the team sport thing, and set that aside and look at what's really going on here. That's right. And a video in response to a comment on one of my recent uploads. This comment was from a friend of mine, a YouTube buddy of mine, a content creator and subscriber. Posted a video about my top 5 benefits of keto carnivore animal based. Now, this brother is vegetarian and has been leaning more plant-based. And he said something to the effect in his comment of good video, great video, but still team vegetarian. And I thought about this, and this isn't, an attack on him, but just the idea of team vegetarian. So I think about this idea of teams, tribalism, people fighting about diets. And it's almost similar to the idea of when someone doesn't like the same music as you, sometimes people see that almost as a personal insult. So you don't like what I like, so I don't know, it's harming me in some kind of way. Or now I think about this, like the psychology of food, right? That's a deep thing within the human mind, the human psyche. And as it relates to cultures, and there's just so many elements to it, right? But, let's talk USA, standard American diet. Everybody understands that the sad is exactly that, sad, and it's making people more sad and depressed and sick and ill. But the illness seems to overlap into this idea that, hey, even though I'm trying to, eat healthy by trying to eat more plant-based or animal-based or whatever, and this goes both ways, right? My whole life, been accosted by people saying, you should be vegan or you should care about the animals. And of course, I care about the welfare of animals and I want animals to be treated humanely. But I also am not opposed to the idea of consuming animals from a nutrition standpoint. I think we do live in some kind of, dualistic transactional world, and I hate to say it, but sometimes I guess for some things to live, some things gotta die. And that even holds true for plants. So I don't know. I mean, there's some definitely a discussion to be had there, but where I'm at with it right now and the way I see it, look, I want the most nutrition density in the foods that I eat, and I want it the most efficient way, and I want the most likelihood that I'm going to be able to absorb it with the less potential downstream effects. Now, there's ongoing discussions about the better eating pattern strategy, whatever, to achieve this. But to a certain degree, we got to be honest, a lot of it is just ideological and just a simple ego thing of, hey, I eat this way, so you should eat this way. And again, this holds true for people who are experimenting with different diet lifestyles, keto, carnivore, vegetarian, vegan. Myself personally, being here in California, from the Bay Area, from Oakland, more people seem to be more inclined to think in terms of healthy eating in the context of eat plant-based. And I actually fell for this, or I should say, I believed this for a long time myself. So in the last year and a half, I switched over to more plant-based, keto, carnivore, with a whole lot more focus and intention. I was able to get into ketosis because keto isn't a diet more than it is a physiological state that you put yourself into, or that you naturally move into in the presence of less carbohydrates, lower your insulin, you get into fat burning, your liver produces ketones. And this is just biology. This is just the physics of how your body works. And once I understood that more, I realized, wait a minute, I was able to leverage ketosis from fasting while plant-based, but was banging my head against the wall, doing it way harder than I had to. Because along with keto, you get into autophagy and all these other things that are just natural, right? Meanwhile, standard American diet has people eating a whole lot of unnatural things. And when you understand the idea of how they set you up for failure, the products they're offering, I understand it because I work in visual media. I'm a videographer, visual media producer. I understand the idea of designing packages and selling you on something all the way to a jingle, selling you a product, something that is unnatural, and even making it to where, hey, there's money on the line with this. There's a whole corporate bottom line invested in this. We need to make these sales numbers. We have shareholders who are interested in this. We want to make profits. Now, say what you will about that, but when it gets to this thing of, hey, let's make these foods as appealing as possible so they're working on brain pleasure centers. Let's make these things as addictive as possible versus, hey, eat natural whole foods, of course, plant-based, animal-based, cool. I'm more about that. Let's get away from the processed food so we can be more preventative in avoiding the downstream impacts and effects of these things. If there's some kind of fight, I don't think it should really be plant-based versus animal-based more so than it should be real food versus fake food. Now, there's the thing where, in my experience, leveraging more plant-based from a nutrition, calorie for calorie standpoint, and the satiety factor, how it impacts with your physiology, with your biology. When you eat more fat and protein, it is more satiating. You tend to eat less in general, so by default, you're gonna eat less processed food, less craving for processed food. When you stabilize your blood sugar, you're going to crave less sugar. It's gonna balance itself out. There's a discussion more so ongoing about insulin resistance, hyperinsulinemia, diabetes going crazy, drugs like Ozempic, tirzepatide, and Mounjaro, the different brand names, whatever. People, again, making offers to sell you products that you could, if you just treated your body right and ate the right foods, you could avoid it. I'm more interested in that more so than fighting people over their dietary choices. But I think there's some actual objective kind of truth to, let's put it this way. There's some logic to a tool that can be leveraged, and it doesn't have to be permanent. It doesn't have to be where, this side fights that side. Maybe we can leverage a physiological state like keto to remedy, stabilize, reverse some of the damage that many of us have done, standard American diet, and people around the world, from people operating corporations who have profit motives to sell you food that can be harmful for you. We all know this stuff, right? Not that I'm saying is too far out, but why fight amongst each other? If it is a matter of, carnivore is just an elimination diet, what's the problem with that? I don't really see a problem with that at all. Let's leverage that and then, use it as a reset button. And then from there, eat whatever you want, but just avoid the fake food, because we know the real culprit is the fake food. The fake food causes all the chronic disease issues that lead to you needing these prescriptions for these other things. So they got a nice little system set up here. Give you the fake food, you harm your body. Some people in the form of corporations have something to sell you for that, and they have something to sell to you for the side effects from those things. And you're on this hamster wheel. We got to take the tribalism, the team sport thing, and set that aside and look at what's really going on here. Look at the common interest. And I know a lot of people don't like this. Like, again, I come from a media background, so there's an objective journalism mentality that I have with this for myself. After years, plant-based, vegetarian, just different levels of more plant-based leaning, switching over to animal-based because I thought I knew what was going on. But when I looked more into the info, I took it upon myself to be honest and say, hey, I'm not gonna make this be some ego thing, or I'm on some kind of team and I'm gonna go down with the ship for this team or whatever. I just wanna be healthy. So if it means that I was missing something along the lines of animal-based, nutrient density, I like the idea of not having to think about food all day. I just want to eat the most nutrient-dense things whenever I want and ditch cravings. Believe me, all the damage that I've done, I want to be as healthy as possible going into my 50s. And I don't want the ailments. I don't want the medicine chest full of this and that and the third. I've seen it. I've lived it. Family, struggling, issues, passing away based on things that were avoidable. The more you know about this, the more it's easy to sort it all out. But we just got to start with, hey, let's get rid of the fake food and the subsequent drugs that they have ready to go for you. They have the offers. It's up for us to decline the offers. So again, the main point of it is just thinking about the idea of teams, what team I'm on. I'm like, we need to be on team healthy, team prevention, and let's leverage whatever elimination diet, whether it be, you're coming off standard American diet, sure, just eat plants all day, whatever. You do have to consider, plant defense chemicals, yada, yada. I'm looking at more into that. That's becoming more of an understood topic. We have to understand, are the animals being treated humanely? Are they being injected with other chemicals as well? So there's discussions to be had on both sides. What we need to understand is there is a fight going on. We shouldn't be fighting with regular people who are just trying to figure this out. If there is a fight to be had, it ultimately is a fight between the fact that there are people operating corporations who have financial interests and investments in you eating food that is profitable for them and arguably that is harmful for you because they have a system where they profit furthermore from the things that are supposed to treat you down the line. Now, make of that what you will, but I think we all know, in the spirit of journalistic integrity, that is objectively true, or at the very least from, a self-care wellness standpoint, a self-preservation standpoint, we have to consider that that's maybe what's going on here. Either way, it's on us, the accountability to decline the offers. They're talking about make America healthy again, whatever. I'm like, look, make yourself healthy now, and you won't have to worry about some politician or bureaucrat helping you or doing it for you. It's about self-accountability. We don't need to pick a team. We don't need to pick a side. Let's pick the side of health and empowerment for ourselves. And I'm done with y'all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content. Follow us on all social media at AM1 Lifestyle. Check me out on the website at am1lifestyle.com.